Okay, so happy 4th of July, everybody. Happy 4th of July to my fellow Americans. This is my review of my no spoiler review version of my review of season 3 of Stranger Things. Now, if you've seen all of my videos, if you're one of those rare people that has seen all of them, then you already know that I've been a Stranger Things fan. I have mentioned the series in a number of my other videos, and so I'm already a fan of this series. I had high expectations coming into this season. I was a little concerned about where they were going to take the story following what happens in season 2, because season 2 seems to wrap up everything very conclusively in a certain way, and boy, does this season deliver. In the very first scene, in the very first episode, I'm not spoiling nothing, but you get introduced to some of the new antagonists. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh man, here we go. And from there, you're off. Stranger Things fans, you are going to love this season. I put it definitely a notch above season 2 and right on par with season 1. Maybe even better than season 1, because this season it gets the ball rolling within the first couple of episodes, and by the time you're into episode 4, you are really in the meat of the plot, and it doesn't slow down. So the first episode is still very much a formulaic Stranger Things episode, where you get an introduction to... There's obviously a time skip. There's been a time skip between... There's multiple time skips in Stranger Things. So there's a time skip to a summer vacation, and then you get to see all of the different characters. The kids are now teenagers. The teenagers have now graduated high school, and the adults are still the adults. And everybody has now... You get to catch up with them with what they're doing, what they're up to. You get to see the relationships of the various characters and how they're currently playing out. And then you get, within that first episode, you get an introduction to all of their personal arcs. And some of their arcs take longer to resolve than others. Some of their arcs are, in my opinion, a little bit more compelling than others, but that's my personal opinion. You might relate more to some of the arcs than some of the other ones. It doesn't matter. The point is, every single character that you knew and loved from season 2 gets an arc, or at least the main cast gets an arc introduced in that first episode. And then you also get the introduction to the new plot. What's the new mystery? What is the stranger thing that's going on in Hawkins this season? You also get an introduction to a couple of other different things. New people get brought in. Some of the new characters are extremely... I was very happy with. Robin is maybe one of my favorite characters in the show now. I thought Steve Harrington and Dustin, just like season 2, I thought they stole the show in many of the scenes that they were in. The chemistry between those two actors continues to be very top-notch. But every character feels like they are contributing. It was a problem that I had a lot in season 2, where I described it as season 2 suffering from the Goku problem, where 11 is so powerful and now she's in control of her powers that we needed to remove her from the situation in order for everything to get resolved, in order for there to be enough tension so that when the climax comes and she comes back and resolves it, I mean, she could have resolved it quickly if she was involved the entire time. Season 3 doesn't have that problem. 11 is very involved in the main plot from the beginning, and you get to see a lot of her. You get to see a lot of her using her powers. At this point, she's very well adjusted and very in control of all of her talents, but she's not overpowered the way she was in season 2. The upside down, the forces of the upside down, as I'm calling them, have enough. There's enough buildup and there's enough going on, and it's going on in enough different places where 11 can't be everywhere to solve everything all at once the way that she could in season 2. So that to me is a huge improvement to where we were in season 1, to where we were in season 2. Also, they introduced tension between the different characters. I mean, that was kind of something that was already there, but I mean, now the tension is like I feel it. It's believable. You're getting a lot of the kids are now teenagers, and they're now coming to grips with being teenagers. The adults are now, the young adults are now young adults, where they're moving from the school environment into the work environment. You're getting that whole dynamic. They're all meeting it with mixed success. You get the return of certain recurring characters, and it would be a spoiler if I told you which ones, that are made into more important characters in this season than they were in season 2. You also get a return of a really awesome character from season 1 that wasn't really doing anything in season 2, but he's only there for one episode, but it was really nice to see him come back. The eventual climax, the last episode, is awesome. There is a very hilarious and adorable moment in there that, me being a massive 80s film fan, absolutely I could not stop laughing about it. That's coming in the last episode. There's a lot of build-up that leads into it. You still, of course, mentioning the 80s, get all the awesome 80s nostalgia in the setting, in the music, in the product placement. Even the product placement, some of it's pretty egregious. The camera is definitely focusing on this product from the 80s for a significant amount of time. But even that, just it doesn't feel forced. It blends into the entire setting in a way that makes it feel very natural and very lovable. Overall, I absolutely highly recommend this series, this season. Stranger Things fans, if you were a little let down by season 2, I like season 2, but I definitely didn't think it held up to season 1. Season 3 is absolutely worth getting reinvested into this show. If you are not hooked on this show again by the end of episode 1, then I apologize, because I think you should be, and I think this series deserves it. So 8 out of 10. I could nitpick about certain things here and there. I will do that in my spoiler review. But overall, I thought this season was very good. I definitely would put it right up there with season 1. It might even be better than season 1. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is better? Do you think this is the best season of Stranger Things yet? Do you think that I'm totally off base and you have legitimate criticisms with this movie or with this show this season? Let me know about that too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Try not to put spoilers in this comment section. That would kind of be a little mean, considering that I'm going to be making a spoiler review too. So if you guys want to know what I have to say about more specific things about it, check out my spoiler review. You can find that on my channel. I'll be uploading it after this one. Happy 4th of July. I'll talk to you guys later.